So we got a direct message on Instagram wondering about the included food and what's extra on the Carnival Miracle. And I have a list in front of me that I am going to break down for you guys. This, like I said, is specifically for the Carnival Miracle, but a lot of it you can just go ahead and apply to most of Carnival ships. There might be a little bit difference in some names or options, but the standard Carnival Lido deck food is, like I said, standard. You can put it on most cruise ships on Carnival. So we'll break it down: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and some of these are going to spill over to both lunch and dinner. So for breakfast, they have what they just call the breakfast grill, which is like a giant buffet. You can get pretty much anything that you want. You can get eggs, bacon, pancakes, French toast, grits, if you like that sort of thing. I'm not a big fan of grits. Oatmeal. You can do cereal and orange juice, drinks, pastries, a lot. You can do a lot with that. If you want something a little bit more fancy, I guess you'd say, they have the sea day brunch, which is obviously on sea days from 8:30 to 1. And then they have the dining room breakfast, only a short period of time. It's 7:30 to 9:30. So if you get up early enough or you don't have an excursion that day, that you can sit around for, I guess, you can do that. You can also do the room service if you want to do like just a little continental breakfast right to your room. That's from 5 to 10. So for lunch, they have, this is all on the Lido deck, by the way, Carnival Deli hot and cold sandwiches, chopsticks, which is Asian cuisine. I wonder what gave that away. It might have been the name. Off the grill. By the way, who comes up with these names? They can do better names than this. Off the grill, hamburger, hot dogs, and grilled chicken, and then all the toppings that go on that, like bacon and sauteed onions and stuff like that, which is really good, by the way. Salad bar. I don't know who eats salads on a cruise. I'm there to get fat, man. I'm gonna get fat. They have you can do salads, salad bar. Pizza Pirate, which is sent from heaven, which is a 24-hour pizzeria, and they're actually really good. You'd think that they wouldn't be that good, but they are really good. They're like really thin pizza, not very big, but they are good. They cut it in half. They normally give you half of it, but I always am like, can I get the whole thing? And then you can do, obviously, the room service from 6 to 10, and that's free. From 6 to 10 is free, but if you go from 10 to 6, Carnival just introduced, I believe in January of 18, there's a fee. I think I looked it up here, let me look here. It is from $2 to $6, so it ranges. And then for dinner, they have the deli, off the grill, and the Pizza Pirate that you can get at lunch. You can get also at dinner. And then they have the dining room, which is like the sit-down 3-course meal of an appetizer, main, and dessert, which you can get the Carnival melting pot, which is the best ever. If anyone tells you different, just get the melting pot with 2 ice creams, because that's the way to go. Make sure that you know what time I know this doesn't have to do with price, but make sure that you know what time you're gonna be there. Early, late, or your time dining. So early's at 6, late's at 8:15. Your time is at 5:45 and 9:30. And then they also have the good eats. Maybe that you don't want to sit down for dinner. You can go back to the Lido deck where you got all your other food, which, by the way, if you haven't figured out yet, is like 95, maybe even higher than that, percentage of food takes place on that. Takes place on the Lido deck. So they call that good eats, which according to Carnival, I'm reading off what they have there, is a casual buffet style dinner. Pretty simple. It's a little bit more fancier food, but it's just a buffet style. You can go get your food, sit down. You don't have to be waited on, anything like that. So if you got a show you need to get to, that's probably a good option. When it comes to drinks, it's pretty basic, but for me, it works really well because I drink a lot of water. So obviously the water, coffee, tea, lemonade, and then they have iced tea, so hot tea and iced tea. I normally do the Arnie Palmer, do the tea and lemonade mix. Good to go. And then they also have hot chocolate, which, pro tip, on the hot chocolate, if you mix the coffee and hot chocolate, it's really good. And then the famous Carnival ice cream, soft serve, and frozen yogurt. If you know what's good for you, you're not going to do the frozen yogurt, because if you can get ice cream, you get ice cream. You don't get frozen yogurt. Everyone knows that. But yeah, they're just like little stands. I believe there's 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken, one on each end of the ship, and then one on one side and one on the other side. So there's 4 stations, and they normally swap out flavors on that. But like vanilla and chocolate and swirl are there. Sometimes they'll do strawberry. So that's all the free stuff, which, like I said, is like a lot of what you're gonna be doing. On the extra side, they have the steakhouse, the chef's table, steakhouse selections, the coffee bar, Bottomless Bubbles and Cheers, which the steakhouse selections, Bottomless Bubble and Cheers, they're not actually restaurants, they're just extras that you can pay for. Either is the chef's table either. So really the only extra restaurant is the steakhouse, which it's a steakhouse. That's $35 for the adult. You get an appetizer, salad, entree, side, and dessert. 11 and under is $10 with a kids menu. And they say that reservation is not required, but it's recommended. It's pretty common sense. There's a lot of people and there's not a lot of room. So if you want to get there, maybe do it ahead of time, but definitely reserve your seat. The chef's table is pretty cool. I'm gonna read this here. It's a multi-course dinner hosted by master executive chef. Start out with cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, and then a tour of the galley, and then you end it off with appetizers, entrees, desserts. And the cool thing is that none of the food that you're gonna get is found on a regular item, so you can only get it if you do the chef's table. It's kind of exclusive because on the Miracle there's only 14 spots. So if you want to do it, make sure that you do it right away. Don't waste your time because it probably fills up quick. It's kind of pricey, $75 to $95 for adults and kids. $75 to $95, and I don't know the breakdown why it's $75 or $95. I'm assuming kids are $75, but they didn't give a lot of information on that, and that starts at 12 and older, so you gotta be 12. If you look like you're 12, I'm sure they'll probably let you through. Steakhouse selections, if you don't want to do the steakhouse, or maybe you're the only one in your party that wants to do steakhouse, you can do a steakhouse selection brought to the main dining room. So you can get filet mignon, New York strip, lobster, or surf and turf, and that's $20. So if you want to kind of upgrade, you want to upgrade yourself, you want to treat yourself, you can do that for the main dining room. Now to the drink selection is a coffee bar, which it's like a Starbucks or a Caribou. It's not that quality. If I gotta be 100% with you, it's not that quality, but it's really good. If you're into the foofy drinks, I don't drink my coffee black. I mean, I will if I have to, but I'd rather do a little cream or sugar. So if you want to do a little syrup or fancy drink, coffee bar. And then the Bottomless Bubbles and the Cheers are probably the 2 biggest things that you might spend money on outside of what's already included. I don't do these because I don't drink enough. I don't drink enough soda and I don't drink enough alcohol where it would make sense. I normally just pay one-offs and it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. So the Bottomless Bubbles are soda and juices, and then the Cheers is soda, juice, and then alcohol cocktails. Pricing on that's a little confusing. I'm gonna do this as best I can. This is exactly what Carnival says. Sodas are $4.95 for kids. Adults are $7.50. That's per day. And there's a 15% gratuity on the beginning of your purchase. So if it's a 7-day, you're gonna get charged for the 7 days total price, and then 15% on that. So when you swipe your card and get a drink, you're not gonna get an extra gratuity. Cheers is a little bit different. It's $51.95 pre-cruise, so if you do it before you actually get on the ship, and that's per person per day, $56.95 after you get on the ship. Two caveats with that. One is it's a 15% gratuity every time you get a drink, and then you're limited to 15 drinks per 24 hours. Obviously, this has got to be beneficial to you somehow. I don't have the breakdown, I don't have individual drink prices, but I know that it's expensive to drink on the cruise. That's why people sneak it on all the time, is because it's expensive. I don't drink enough where I feel like I need to sneak it on or I need to do the drink program. But maybe you do. Maybe you're the type that, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just something to think about. All right, so we've gone over what's free, what's included, I should say. People don't like when, you know, it's not free, I paid for it. I get that, but it's included. You don't have to pay extra. And we went over what's extra. I hope that helps. Like I said, this is specifically for the Miracle when it comes to like extras. On other ships, you're gonna see a different variety of options, but you can take what I said about what's free or included to most of Carnival ships. Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. If you enjoyed that, can you do me a favor and subscribe to our channel and like this video? It helps us reach other cruisers like me and you that just love to cruise. And that's what this channel is all about. This channel is all about cruising and just building that community up. And if you really, really like this video, do me a favor and let someone else that you know that loves to cruise just like us about our channel. You can follow us on Facebook, or I should say you can like us on Facebook, and you can follow us on Instagram at Port and Sea. Thank you guys so much.